Y'all need to listen up. This is real life. Y'all doing dumb shit just for views and likes. Any topic, you know that we on it. No matter the subject, you know that we on it. Isaac Coda when the kid plot. Yo, we can't stop, man. Y'all know we the baddest. We keep it 100, no capping. Welcome to Stop the Madness.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot, my co-host.
We are back, Isaac Cotto.
We in the building. What we talking about today?
Hey, today we have some good reaction videos. Your good friend, Officer Tatum. Always shout out to him. He puts out good content. But there's some videos we're going to discuss. 2 quick videos. And then we got a hot topic of discussion where you and I don't think agree that we're going to bring to the table. But
definitely don't agree.
Let's get into this video. The first one is going to be Officer Tatum.
Okay.
On his stance on immigration. Let's check it out.
All right, cool.
In this country, if black people, if we're caring about what our efforts are and our effectiveness in this country is, if we get overtaken by people who shouldn't even be in this country, that didn't fight to belong in this country, didn't die, didn't shed blood, wasn't in the Civil War, wasn't a slave in this country. The law wasn't even prepared for people to come here illegally. It was prepared for black people who belong here. If we get overtaken by them, then what are we going to do? We're having abortions at a crazy rate. Therefore, we're not populating. We're at 12%. We're probably at 11% of the population. If they are 60% of the population, when we show up to vote, what kind of power you think we're going to have? And they came here illegally. Their ancestors were not here. They didn't go through the struggle. They didn't go through Jim Crow. You got to get in line and do it the right way. And you're not going to thwart opportunities for black people in this country. And if anybody cares about opportunities for black people, and they're saying they're not afforded these opportunities, they're getting taken away from them, this is one of the points that we should all be in unison on, is saying that these illegal people who come in this country that take opportunities from Americans is wrong.
That's pretty much the video. That's his take on immigration. Let me. I'm gonna start this one out, right? Yeah. So that one hits a little.
And we can always disagree. I mean, Officer Tatum is my boy, and just because we disagree don't mean we don't like him.
I think from his content, you know him personally, but for his I think he makes it clear he likes discussion. Mm-hmm. Like it's all about that. But look, this is my take personally. So I've done immigration law for over 10 years, and one of the points he said is like, what happens if these illegal immigrants come and they take opportunities from African Americans, right? And it's the same argument from that he's saying for African Americans, but it's the same argument you hear regarding white Americans. And to me, it's very simple. Those who come illegally, those immigrants, we all know there's not a line for lawn care. Like, I mean, like, I don't see any long lines of like, hey, hire me. I want to be in 90-degree heat to cut grass or to lay bricks, or they're not eliminating any positions I see where African Americans or white Americans are fighting for. We're not talking about positions. They're not going to work at McDonald's because they can't. They legally can't. But guess what? You have a chicken factory that can't find nobody. They'll hire a whole bunch of illegals because they'll work in decrepit work areas, situations. Yeah. They'll take, they get injured on the job. They get paid the low wages. But there's not a line of white or black people like, hey, I want to work in this kitchen, this chicken coop factory. You don't see that. So that argument right there, like, oh, they're going to overtake opportunities, I find it so invalid.
I think what he's trying to do is he's just trying to point out that people coming here illegally is a problem. I think that's what he's mainly trying to do. Now he's using it in a way that it doesn't really help his argument. I think when he brings up that it's taking away opportunities for black people in this country. Because obviously, like you just said, there's a lot of jobs that people in this country that are citizens, like black or white, that don't want to do. And then the illegal immigrants that come here, they'll do it. You know what I mean? So I think the main reason why he's bringing that up is only because of the simple fact that he wants people to come here legally and not illegally, and that's why he's bringing that point up, I think.
I mean, look, he mentioned, I guess the video's a little bit older. He talked about, hey, we're having abortions at such a high rate.
Yeah, so we're not populating.
Okay, abortion is illegal now, so that's a non-factor, right? So, it's a weak argument to me anyway.
Is it illegal nationwide?
Yes.
Oh wow! I thought it was just in certain states.
It's determined by state, but it's illegal, so that's not an issue. But again, the life cycle and of course there are illegals who are criminals and things like that. But we're talking about your average undocumented person that basically, man, if I could make $500 a week and I could send $200 to my family in Mexico, Dominican Republic, or whatever. I mean, it's life-changing for their family overseas. But the life cycle is they get here, they work, they're undocumented, they deal with the stress, and they have a family here. They have children here.
So you think that illegals should be able to enter?
No. I think there needs to be control at the border.
Okay.
Right? There needs to be control at the border. There needs to be some kind of verification as far as who can come in. I mean, that's never going to change, right? Okay. You're always going to have people, when you're in such horrible conditions in these other countries, people trying to come in.
Right.
But those that do come in, don't say, oh, they come in, they're going to take away opportunities from us. Like, wait a minute. They're not.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think
they're not taking away opportunities.
I don't think they're taking away opportunities. I think they're doing jobs that black folks and white folks don't want to do anyway.
And as far as voting power, I mean, the Hispanic vote is a strong vote, but I think is no stronger than any other population than the black or the white. The majority of the country is white. And
Latino, there's more Latinos than black right now. As far as
voting power, so he's like, if they overtake the country, I'm not going to overtake the country. And at the end of the day, if you do have children that are born here, as of right now, they're U.S. citizens, and hopefully they become.
Well, I think what he's trying to say though is that at the pace that we're going at, that there's going to be a very, very, like blacks are going to be extremely minority. Like they're going to be very low because of they're not populating because of all the abortions that black folks are, doing. And then he's also talking about all the immigrants that come in illegally. So he pretty much what he's trying to say is that black folks are, and then not only that, all the crimes that black people they commit, because we know that they commit a lot of crimes in this country, and it's disproportionate with the population of the amount of black people. I think black people are, if I'm not mistaken, 17%. So if it's around 17%, but they're committing the same percentage of crimes as white people, that means there's a lot more black people committing crimes, right? Mm-hmm. So that means either they're not populating or they're in jail. So if they're already in jail, that means that it's not a lot of black people that are actually contributing to society. Yeah, but that touches on a different issue versus how the immigrant population is affecting that. Look, but I think that he's bringing. From what I heard, I feel that it kind of all ties in together because he's talking about. He brought up abortion, which means there's not going to be a lot of black people with opportunities here because A, they're not populating, and B, there's immigrants coming in and taking positions. When you look at the numbers, I mean, even if there's a high rate of abortion, like there's plenty of kids being born to black families. Like that doesn't move the needle. That's not going to move the needle anyway. But from personal experience, I would tell you. I've seen people who are undocumented find a way to start a business, and they employ others, and they pay years of taxes, right? So they get a tax ID, they start a business, they're undocumented, but they make it happen, and they pay taxes for years that they'll never benefit from. You get someone that's born in this country, has every opportunity, everything laid out for them, and they can't get out of their mother's house. That's and true. They're 30-something years old. That's facts. Right? So, again, it hit a button for me when he's like, oh, they're going to overtake and they're taking these opportunities. Yeah, I disagree with him on that. There's tons that have plenty of opportunity and they don't do shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's facts. They don't move. And I grew up in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. I left my neighborhood at 16. I go back to visit, right, 10 years later. And within 5 minutes that I step on the block, Isaac, hey!
childhood friend living in the same apartment that he grew up in with his family, now in the same apartment, like no movement whatsoever. I mean, 10, 12 years later, they're still stuck in the same project, ghetto area in the Bronx. Like, there's been zero movement in that family, right? They're there. You get a family that comes, they don't speak the language. They don't do hustle, sweat, do the shitty job. And guess what? They start a business. They're self-employed. I mean, it's just incredible. So, again, that was just something that he hit on that it rung a bell. I was like, they're not stealing opportunities.
Yeah, I just think that everybody should worry about themselves, worry about progression, and focus on bettering themselves. The opportunities are there. You just got to work for them. As long as you keep pushing forward, if you really, really want it, you'll get it. You just got to work for it.
I mean, I think his main point, like, clearly there's a problem with immigration. Clearly, there needs to be immigration reform, control at the border. But for those that do make it in the country, you can't say they're taking away opportunities. Like, they don't speak the language when they get here. What opportunities are they going to steal from anybody? Like, you know what I mean?
No,
so that's it. But we got another video that he recently posted that we saw that I'm going to bring up, and it's about. Man, it's a transgender issue type video.
Well, actually, type video, because this dude is not even a transgender.
He doesn't even qualify.
He's just a man.
It's hard for me to even. Yeah,
he's just a man. If he was trans, at least it would be an actual conversation.
Right.
This is just
a dude.
This is just comedy at this point.
Yes,
but unfortunately, in where we're at today, we gotta address
Accept it. Yes. Let's see it.
Ash, why are you doing this? I'm David Menzies, Rebel News.
Hi. No, you're not really a part of this. We're having a team chat now.
Okay, I'm just trying to ask some questions, ma'am.
But this is not the appropriate time.
Why are you allowing a biological male to compete against female players?
I'm not going to have a conversation with you.
Well, I'll talk to Ash then. Ash, do you take joy in injuring female rugby players?
I love this guy. I'm so glad.
Yeah,
it's a straight up dude,
male
bro.
Players where you should be. You're a biological male, aren't you?
I'm so glad this guy is there with the mic in his face.
Mr. Ash, are you a misogynist?
And the girls really want to win because they're protecting the guy.
They're okay with it. The opponents ain't.
Yeah.
That you are traumatizing my family.
I'm traumatizing them. Why? What happened?
Because my kids get to see people like you crying because of things.
I'm surprised. As a mother, why would you expose your kids to a misogynist?
That is my partner. That is my wife.
That is your wife.
My wife.
He's a straight up dude.
Straight up, when I saw this video, Officer Tatum posted it on his Instagram, and I saw the video, and all I could say is, I'm so confused. Like, I don't know what, like, it's like you said, he didn't even try. Like, the dude even, like,
no intent.
It's like, yeah, I'm playing today. What's up? But like, who we playing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's literally like you just showing up to the football field and playing women's football.
Yes.
And like, I'm here. I identify as a woman. I'm a woman today.
No,
so I want to play with the girls. Like, what the hell? How is this even accepted? How is this acceptable?
I think the biggest twist in the video is when the wife shows up upset and says, "That's my wife."
That you are
So he's a lesbian?
Really? Where is this a wife at though? Like, what? So I don't get it. Like, it doesn't even make sense because clearly they're both wives. One looks like a woman and one looks like a guy. It just doesn't make sense to me, bro. This is a new world that I live in.
The one thing I would say is, like, of course you have the right to ask questions, whatever. That is a form of harassment. They're playing their game. And yes,
what do you mean harassment? This is a public park.
Yeah, but the guy going to ask those kind of questions, it's not like they were invited to talk about the subject. Like, he's straight up harassing them. Like, for whatever's going on, they were cool with it. And this guy comes to ask these questions. I can see where they could get upset. But just the mere fact, like you said, I would love for them to interview the opposing team.
But just because he did that, I don't think it gives a right to the guy to shove this guy
absolutely
out the way.
not.
That is assault.
No, absolutely
You put your hands on this guy, shove them out the way because he's asking a question.
Yeah, absolutely not. But I'd be curious what the opposite team says, because clearly his teammates want to win and they want to protect. They wanted to protect their. I'm sure he's probably their best player, and according to the video, he injured another female on the other team. But it's a straight up dude, bro. Like, there's no even one. There's a funny YouTube guy. Based on the swimmers, the swimmers, and he's like a muscular bearded dude.
Dreaming of
and he
becoming
dresses
the
up
top
as a female
swimmer for
and
1
goes
year.
swimming and does this whole parody, but it's basically the same thing. The guy just showed up like, I'm a woman.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So anyway, shout out to Officer Tatum.
Yeah,
at least
out.
he keeps things interesting.
Yeah, I
But
love what he posts, man. He's on it.
The wife in this video is the star of the video. When she comes out and says, "That's my wife," that kind of threw everything
And then you're
off.
traumatizing my kids.
Traumatizing
Really?
my family.
Yeah, that's my
Come on,
wife.
she's
All right, it's
bugging.
all good. All right, now let's get to the top. We had a disagreement, and we definitely want to hear comments and feedback on this topic.
Yeah, we discussed this off camera.
It's an important topic. I think it's something that needs to be talked about and needs to be made clear.
Let them know.
So we were discussing, I follow, we see a lot of videos of. I didn't even know. Thank you. You schooled me up. I didn't understand what 304s were. Like, I was like, why are they calling them 304s?
That means hope.
Right. So a 304, and you correct me if I'm wrong. 304 is a female. Typically, is going to be an attractive female that is looking for high value men, and whatever it is, to provide for the high value man, and in exchange, this high value man, regardless of how he looks, gets to sleep with the girl. I mean, it's been going on for years. You see the older guy, fat, whatever, with the hot chick, whatever, and you're like, man, why is that chick with that dude? Like, what is it that he got that I don't got? It's probably has to do with some money. And then we have prostitutes, right? Now, I'm not talking about your crack addict type prostitute that you see in the corner of a big city, right? We're talking about, you see passport bros that go to these Latin American countries, and there's these beautiful girls from Venezuela, Colombia, whatever, but they're straight up prostitutes. Like, hey, I'll party with you. You pay me, I'll party with you, do whatever you want. We have a good time. In my opinion, it is no different. To me, it's this. You can call one prostitution, and I don't know what you call the other, but it's the same form. I think there's no moral difference.
I think that's where we differentiate, because to me, a prostitute is someone that charges for sex, and that's it. She comes over, you pay her, she has sex with you, she leaves. To me, that's what a prostitute is. Or you could call it an escort, whatever. It's someone that's charging for sex. To me, that's what a prostitute is. Now, a 304, a hoe, is somebody that, yes, they're with you because you got money, but those girls will actually go shopping with you. They'll go to the beach with you. They'll go to the yacht with you. They'll travel with you to another country, whatever. Give you the pussy, but at the same time, they are charging, but they're not charging literally sex, money. So I think that's where I think we're not on the same page.
I think it's unsaid, right? So I meet a girl. She's beautiful. She's hot. She's young. But if I'm broke, she's not talking to me. So, okay, boom. I got to take her on the trips. I got to buy her the bags. I got to treat her good. I got to help her with her rent so I can get in the panties. But she didn't come to me and say, I'll give you the panties for money. But she give me the panties because I did X, Y, and Z. I can go.
But that's a 304.
Okay, but I can go to any country and say, "Hey, beautiful, I want you to come with me on the boat. I want you to eat dinner with me. I want you to act like my girlfriend, and I want you to give me some action at the end of the night, and I'll pay you $500, $400.
Okay.
And she's like, great. And they'll go with you. They'll have a great time. They party with you. They act like they're your girlfriend.
Well, see, I'm not aware of a prostitute doing that. To me is you call a number. Hey, I'm in room blah, 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 blah. I'm looking for this. And then they come through. You pay them whatever the fee is. Y'all do the thing, and then, all right, bye. To me, that's what I'm thinking of a prostitute. Now, a 304 is somebody that actually sell you bullshit. Mm-hmm. She'll make you believe she likes you. You guys go hang out. You go to the club. You go to dinner. You start acting like a damn near couple because she's like, he's loaded. I'm going to give him everything he wants. I'm going to act like I'm his girlfriend damn near. Where to me, I didn't know a prostitute does that. I didn't know that a prostitute will act like your girlfriend too. I thought she was literally coming to give you the pussy and then leaving. That's what I thought.
No, that's okay.
See, a 304, if you call her up and say, we're talking about a hoe here. Yo, come through. I'm at the crib. I got $300 or whatever, $500 for you. 304s typically won't come just to bang and then money. A prostitute would. But a 304 won't, because she doesn't want to feel like a hoe. She wants to actually feel like, oh no, we're going out, we're hanging out. You're just paying for everything, and you're hooking me up, and you're taking care of me with gifts. Hello, you're taking care of me with gifts, taking care of me with dinner. You're buying me the things I like, not necessarily giving me cash on hand. That's the difference between a 304. A 304, you're taking them out and giving them the experience of a girl that you're actually trying to see. A prostitute is coming money on hand for a sexual favor. That's what the difference is, in my estimation.
To me, okay, so let's take NBA players. Mm-hmm. They got a girlfriend in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Mommy, I'll take care of your rent. But when I show up in town, I'm knocking on the door, and you know what it is. Mm-hmm. Okay, I mean, there's an exchange, right?
Oh no, there's always an exchange.
There's a financial exchange.
I'm not debating that.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, she has to at least be able to hang out with me and deal with me, but this is a financial exchange. I'm gonna pay you X. When I show up, I want Y. I might see you 3 times in a year, but when I show up, the expectation, because I'm paying this, I'm getting that. No different. It's just it's kind of like racism. You know it when you see it. Example: you're a dark skinned guy, right? You go. There's a white skinned guy. They treat you different, right? They're not treating you the same. They're giving you different kind of treatment, and you know it's racism. But they don't call you the N-word. They don't call you a spick. But you know what it is. It's no different than what we're talking about. A prostitute is. It's very obvious. It's very clear. The 304 is not as clear, but guess what? You still got to pay up, do this, do that to get the panties.
But I think that, I agree with you, but I think that the difference between me and you is that a 304 is not willing to take money for sex and be done. I think because they want to give off a little bit of an impression that they're not a hoe, even though they really are. A prostitute doesn't give a shit. A prostitute is okay with, this is the fee, this is the service. Sex, money. Or money, sex. A 304 is going to play the game. A 304 is going to go on a date. A 304 is going to go shopping with you. A 304 is going to do whatever it is that you want, where typically a prostitute is okay with doing sex, money. That's it. But 304 is typically going to want to do all the other things that you want to do.
It's all the show. All for it's okay. Look, I have friends that are male homosexuals, right? Mm-hmm. One of the biggest difference that I have learned. Male homosexuals are infamous for being cheaters. Like, they hook up like that. Like, they meet someone, hey, yes, let's go, and they make it happen right away because they're both male. You know, they know what it is and they go for it. Where a female knows the same thing, but like you said, plays the game. Oh, you got to take me out to dinner. I got to go to a nice trip.
That's a 304.
I got to da-da-da.
That's a 304.
Then I give it to you. But it's the same thing. I'm just using my credit card to take the bitch out to eat, to take on a trip, because all I want to do is get in her panties.
So we don't disagree. We don't disagree with that. It is semantically the same thing. Like, in other words,
semantically they're different.
Semantically they're different, but overall it's the same thing. Like, In a nutshell, it's the same thing.
Man,
it's just the details that change, but overall, it's the same thing.
It's no different than you get it. Of course, this doesn't apply to us. We're in serious relationships, but you get a girl's like, yeah, you know what? We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, when I want to see her, I take her out. I know what I'm going to get. I take her to a nice dinner or I buy her something. And I go visit her in her apartment, and it is what it is. It, to me, is literally no different.
Well,
I think there is the cold reality that they're professionals. They show up and they don't care. You're white, green, blue, fat, whatever. It's like, you pay me.
That's the prostitute.
I'll do 10 jumping jacks. And
that's
fuck
the prostitute.
You, and if that's what you want, that's what I do.
That's the prostitute.
Right? But as a man, sometimes I wish, man, I gotta take you out of dinner.
That's not a prostitute.
I gotta do this, but I do these things. You're gonna give me the panties,
and I don't think that's what a prostitute is.
Okay,
I think that's what a 3 or 4 is.
You and I are gonna agree to disagree, right? One makes you work a little bit harder, but it's really the same things about how much outflow you get.
We don't disagree. In a nutshell, it's the same thing, but I think where the semantics and the details and the step-by-step process is where we disagree.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. We want to see these comments. I want to hear some opinions.
Right.
Please let us know. Is he right? Am I right? Is he wrong? Am I wrong? Let us know. Hey, we be back. Thank you for joining us. Stop the madness. Peace.
We out.
All
right, I'm out of here.
right, fuck it.